Hey guys, what's going on, man? Hold on for just a short moment. Y'all know me. I'm gonna break this thingamajig on down. Somebody about to get broken down. Let me change my chat here. And salute Big Boss. What's up, Chris? Yeah, man, I saw this last night and I said, I gotta have me some fun, man. It's late night, but top of the morning, I'll break this down because that was really bad. Sorry about that, y'all. That was really bad, what Stephen A. Smith did. Like, as approach wise, like, not, personally bad. I think it made Stephen A. Smith look bad, but for his approach, I'm sorry about the beginning. I just had to add a thumbnail on the video. I had to figure out, like, when I go live, it ought to just puts my generic thumbnail on it, and I have to go do it after I start the live, unless I'm doing something wrong. Atlanta is in the building. Peace, salute for the good work, John. Thank you, Jaquel, Big Kev. All right, who saw the Stephen A. Smith rebuttal last night, man? Who saw the rebuttal before I even get into it? I already got my window down low because we going to play it here. We going to play it. All right. Let me make sure I get the video ready to play. I just played highlight reels of all for plays, which can be done for literally 99% all players, ESPN, if they played 13 years, etc. I saw it was good. Played right into Kwame's hand. Yeah, what's up? I think Kwame could have went harder on his response. But I think I see the approach Kwame was trying to play. But to me, Kwame, Stephen A. Smith left it open for Kwame to go hardcore. All right, I'm gonna tell y'all why this made me interested is because, and I might have to repeat myself in this video because more people come in, they're gonna be asking me, and I gotta repeat something. When I saw Stephen A. Smith, I just was like, this entire video is destroying Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, man. This entire video is making them lose credibility, and you got to look at it from how your audience is looking at you. And I know that they care about their audience because when Kwame got into it with Matt Barnes, that's the first thing he started to talk about. Our audience, our size. I know they care, but why would two mediocre NBA players become so huge and so popular? What is special about Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Jackson? And when I ask that question, I'm not asking that question as if like you suck. No, I think I know what makes their dynamic special. So I'm asking you, what's up, Lawrence, man? Stephen that shit should have just owned it and apologized. He should have. He should have because that was really bad. Um, Stephen A. Smith is excellent at execution. Once he set a goal, he's good at executing that goal. The problem was the approach. You can be good at execution, but if the plan you're trying to execute is flawed from the start, the fact that you are good at executing a plan, if the plan is flawed, that means that your skills at execution is going to make it 10 times as worse because the plan is wrong. You're about to follow a wrong plan better than anybody else who's going to follow a wrong plan, if I'm making myself clear. So I'm sitting at that, and what made me feel that Stephen A. Smith is extremely clueless to the environment. And a lot of times these guys get rich, they get so much money, they aren't cued to the streets, quote unquote streets is the internet, social media. They aren't cued. So what the thing that made it stand out was that Stephen A. Smith, how he walked away. That last couple seconds. He walked away like I tried to stop this brother. He kept coming and I had to do it. He walked away like he killed Kwame. But we sitting there and we're watching it like that was pretty bad. You made yourself look like a fool. And he won't get it. He won't have time to dwell and look into the social media aspect and see what the everyday fans, the NBA fans, and his people who watch sport, he not understanding what they're thinking and why they like Kwame, or he would not have taken that wrong approach. But back on subject, what made Matt Barnes and Stephen A. Jackson so special that they have a hit show? Two things. I say one thing is simple. They get all the great interviews from NBA players, right? And I'm not talking about the Shannon Sharps and the other big people that had on the show that's not NBA players. Those came after the success that made the show great. But what made them great in the beginning is that they get access to NBA players. But however, there's a lot of NBA players who have NBA access to NBA players. A lot of NBA players who have people on their shows. But what made their dynamic special is that Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson is the everyday man. They chill. They remind us of us. Tatted up, they smoke weed all the time. They seem like everyday chill dudes, and these everyday chill dudes is their selling point. These are everyday chill dudes who just so happen to play in the NBA, and they just lay back kicking it with their NBA friends. This is a nice setup. If you're the everyday chill person, if you remind the fans that you're just like the fans, you don't want a suited figurehead speaking for you. If you came at a man, Jack comes at Kwame, Matt Barnes come at him, invites him to his, if you come at him, we expect that because you just like us, you're everyday man. And Kwame come back, y'all everyday people. But to be an everyday person, to have a podcast where you one of us and you're chill and you let a suit tell you, y'all lay back. Don't say nothing. Y'all just keep doing show. I'm going to take care of him. That looks bad from the jump. Before I even play the video, that looks bad for the jump. Why is a person like Stephen A. Smith speaking for someone like Matt Barnes? Matt Barnes, he wasn't great in the NBA. We like this everyday persona. That goes against your everyday persona. That goes against what we thought about you. We thought if you mess with Matt Barnes coming back at you. That's his public selling point to earn a living after retiring from the NBA. They aren't special. They weren't great basketball players. Matt Barnes averaged 8 points per game. So the fact that you guys sat back and you probably snickered on your couch, laughed like, yeah, boy, we know some, y'all. Stephen A. Smith about to get Kwame right tonight. That goes against everything we thought about you. Y'all, it takes away the fact that you're a man. I'm going to let Stephen A. Smith talk for me? That's crazy. Am I tripping? That's crazy. But then now let's go into what he said and break down the points and why this was so awful for Stephen A. Smith. Also awful for Matt Barnes and Jack, too. Get ready to play the video.
Under most normal circumstances, I have considerably better things to do with my time. But Kwame Brown wanted my time.
Right off the bat, that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have the right approach. When you come on and you are considered to be a suit, you're considered to be disengaged because you never play basketball yourself. When people are looking at Kwame like the everyday champ, he speaks for the people, the people who've been picked on, the people who haven't had much. The wrong approach you want to take is the arrogant approach. So from the first second he talked, when he has his hands like that and he says, normally I have better things to do with my time, he's trying to belittle Kwame. If I were if I did not like Kwame and I wanted to come at him, I would not start my video off to belittling him. As a matter of fact, Kwame is telling you guys how to come at him, and it's pretty easy. Debate his points. We're gonna get into that. We'll get into that. But right off the bat, we're like 2 seconds in, and he made his first biggest mistake by saying I could normally have better things to do with my time. You didn't have better things to do with your time Kwame's whole career when you kept talking trash about him for no reason. It's a contradiction, too, because towards the end of the video, he's going to say how Kwame is more popular now than he's ever been. So if he wasn't popular back then, you talked about him. Why would you have more things to do your time to talk about him right now? You're talking about him because he's popular and it's going to backfire on you.
Attention. Well, you got it now. I didn't want to have to do this.
He really thinks that he did something. I'm like, he's so disengaged, he's so disconnected. It's crazy to see.
But he made me. Look, I don't have a single negative thing to say about Kwame Brown, the person. Nothing personal. Never have. And no one out there has been attacking him personally either. That includes Gilbert Arenas, who did not attack him personally. It includes Steven Jackson, who did not attack him personally. It includes Matt Barnes, who he really got personal about, and Matt Barnes never said a word.
All right, all lies, and I'll go through and break them down how they're all lies. And we go from, he said Matt Barnes never even said a word. So I don't know. I'd assume everybody at this point saw the clip with Jeannie Buss, right? I'm assuming everybody saw that. I'm assuming that everybody saw this lady is trying to have a mature conversation, and these two little guys who were high out of their mind derailed the conversation to go out of their way. And this was the crazy thing is that it was started by Matt Barnes. You know what I'm saying? It was Jack got it first, but Matt Barnes is kind of one that initiated. So I can understand why he responded back to Matt so hardly. But they went out of their way to say that Kwame is pretty much nothing. He had nothing to do with the trade. They went out of their way to laugh. I think Kwame averaged 6.7 points per game in his career, and a guy who averaged 8 points, less than 2 points more than Kwame, is going out of his way to pick on him. A guy who Kwame made more than double during his career in 2 years less than Matt Barnes, made more than double the amount of money, but he's going out of his way to derail the conversation to pick on him. Now, this is the subjective point that Stephen A. Smith doesn't get when he says that nobody talked about him personally. You go back and look at Kwame's page, right? Go back and look at his Instagram, and you can see the things he's doing and things he's been involved in before we, the public, jumped on and latched on and really put interest into Kwame. Kwame is doing a whole bunch of projects that people are allowing him, which is helping inner city kids and doing programs. So why would people want you to help? You got the funds, you got the means, but they want you to help. They like your reputation. They consider you to be an honorable person. A good standing reputation could allow you more opportunities to do these programs to help children. So if he's removed from the NBA, he's been removed for some years, he's out, he's not in the public, he doesn't speak publicly, and he's trying to keep this reputation to help kids and children and all of these other programs that he's involved in. If two guys who are very successful at their podcast, Matt Barnes and Jack, come out and go out of their way to try to put down a black man, while you say that that's not personal, that is directly not only personal to Kwame's life, but to every single person Kwame is trying to help. When you put negative stuff out there to try to destroy this person. So that is personal. You can't say that that's not personal. It's not personal to you. You're a suit. You're up at ESPN. You got a big contract. You've been going off saying disrespectful stuff. And the sad thing is you only got to that position by doing that. A lot of people go to school, go get their journalist degree. They go through the same steps that Stephen A. Smith took. But what made Stephen A. Smith stand out was when he got his shot on the show before he was ever hired, was to belittle and put down and add extra pizzazz to the insults of when a player isn't having a great night, which is sad within itself. Kwame Brown goes out of his way to try to talk about how these things is a climate and how they're getting top heads are getting black men to do this and talk bad about black people. Now, that would have been a more interesting topic to discuss, but Stephen A. Smith wants you the guys to believe in people who hasn't done the research, or people who may have not seen that episode of the show, to just think that Kwame just went off the rails starting with everybody. But if I got something going on here and you put this out here that can mess up my stuff, that's personal to me. All right.
It doesn't include Charlemagne the God either, nor Dr. Boyce Watkins. He didn't say anything bad about Kwame either.
All right, so he said Dr. Boyce Watkins didn't say anything bad, which is a great point for me because I wanted to talk about Dr. Boyce Watkins in the subliminals. About 4 times, well, before I even get to his rebuttal, I'm going to show you what Dr. Watkins did bad is put out negative things that could destroy Kwame, even without even trying. I think he was trying to, but that's subjective. Let's just say what happens. He was putting out information to remind people. It's sort of like an example would be like you left your back door to your store open. You own a store in the back door. Oh, you forgot to lock it. I'm your friend, and I'm hanging around criminals that like to break inside people's stores. They're robbers. They're burglars. If I'm hanging with burglars and burglars are not paying attention to that back door that you left unlocked, and I tell the burglars like, wow, man, he really should have locked his back door. With his back door being unlocked, somebody really can go into his store and steal something. If I put that energy out to the burglars who were not even paying attention at first to the back door being unlocked, and I go off with my life, and the burglars like, damn, let me go in here and get it, the door unlocked. I put that in their head, they wouldn't even think about the door being unlocked. So when Boyce Watkins said something to him like, you doing all this stuff right here, if people hated you, this how they can take your channel down in the climate when he's going against the masses who probably didn't know this information to use it to take his channel down, you're hurting Kwame. Me, as someone who's been on YouTube for so many years, I watch Kwame and I watch the mistakes that he makes as a YouTuber. Not his words. I'm just saying, like, I'm looking at him like, bruh, he really need to let somebody tell him how to work it. But I don't say it out loud on my platform because I knew if I say this out loud, then a bad person can take the information that I'm saying and they can use this against Kwame. So of all the knowledge that I know about YouTube and the ways you get in trouble, I don't say anything because I don't want to even put that energy out there. This is something you should be aware of, especially if you're supposed to be an intelligent person like Dr. Boyce Watkins. But also, when he responded back to Kwame Brown, all I kept hearing, you go back and listen with these insinuations of you saying information, we've been saying it, we've been saying it, we've been saying it. Why does it matter who's saying good information? What's important is that the good information get out there. So if you see somebody that says something that you say, but when they say it, it's way more popular, it's reaching way more ears, you're supposed to be happy. You're not supposed to display any form of envy. I mean, he kept saying it over and over again and throwing in sly stuff. I'm like, yo, boy, Dr. Boyce Watkins look like he kind of mad or jealous of Kwame Brown. It's kind of crazy. He's supposed to be a positive person. He just kept coming back. Oh, that ain't nothing with me. Oh, me and my host, we did that back in the day. That's not how you sound. If, like me, I do a true crime case and nobody is watching my video, my true crime case, and somebody else covered the same case and say this is a cold case that the detectives won't even look at. I did not achieve my goal to make a popular video enough to make the detectives get off of their ass to go and reinvestigate. But if another YouTuber may do the same case I do, and it's extremely big, when I see their numbers and how big that case is, the first thing I'm going to do is be happy because now people are going to care. Now people are going to listen. And now the case is going to be reopened. Dr. Boyce Watkins should have been happy that if Kwame is saying the same information that he has been saying, it wouldn't have sounded envious. He should have been happy like now people are going to listen to this good information. Now we can get this out of here. That should have been the energy that Dr. Boyce Watkins had. Instead, he had envy, in my subjective opinion. He was envious of Kwame's new attention that he's getting. And if someone is envious of the attention that someone is getting, then now you got to go back and look at and see why would they put that message out to the public of, hey, this is how somebody can take his channel down. You got to think. So it's disingenuous for Stephen A. Smith to go on a large platform like ESPN to start this off and say Dr. Boyce Watkins did nothing to Kwame. My opinion.
Nor did Michael Wilbon deserve Kwame Brown coming at him. But Kwame Brown's been getting personal.
I don't know who that is.
With everybody these days. Talking a whole bunch of smack. Saying we don't support black men. Really? Really? Please.
When I saw Stephen A. Smith said this, and this is what I'm saying, you can be great at executing a plan. It means nothing if the plan you're trying to execute is flawed. This plan Stephen A. Smith is doing on this thing is flawed. So he's going to execute it, but it's going to suck because it's a bad plan. This is the moment Stephen A. Smith had the greatest opportunity. If Kwame said you do nothing for black people, why would you go and play a reel of him messing up in basketball? This is your opportunity to show. You gonna tell me I don't do anything for black men? I thought I could have sworn, and I know Stephen A. Smith talked to Matt Barnes and Jack and all them behind the scenes and says I'm gonna rip Kwame a new one when I do my show tonight. When they had this discussion allegedly, when they talked behind the scenes, why didn't Jack make sure you mention the program we do here? Why didn't Matt Barnes say, hey, when you do it, mention the program we do here? Why Stephen A. Smith didn't think the plan to implement was I'm gonna mention all the great stuff that I do for the community here. There would be no rebuttal that Kwame could say that they don't do anything for black people. Now Kwame can still come back and show the cycle of how you guys and what it does to break people down when you focus on nothing but their negativity on the field that they are experts in. He still has that rebuttal back, but he can no longer say that they do absolutely zero. They do absolutely nothing. This was the perfect opportunity for Stephen A. Smith, but he's going to miss the opportunity to do it because the plan that he wants to implement is flawed from jump.
The only negative thing anybody ever said about Kwame Brown is that he couldn't play a lick of basketball. Newsflash, that wasn't a lie. When you put yourself and you put your game out there in the best league in the world, people can comment on it because you're putting your talents on public display. Before I go any further, join me in taking a look.
And I'm going to break that down too. Man, ads coming in, man.
Look at this man.
I was told.
They don't even let you skip the ads. And why can't you skip them anymore? Shot that bitch a thumbs down. All right, I'm gonna break that down too. He's gonna show a bunch of bloopers. I don't know if we need to see all the bloopers. I want to go back to when he talked. Is he talking during the bloopers?
Keep looking.
He should keep looking.
Another drop. The man played for 7 different teams.
That's
wide open layup, miss. Keep going. Keep rolling them. Keep rolling. This is Shaq. Keep going. Hey, go ahead. Watch this. Look at that pass from Steven Jackson, his former teammate. You see? You see that? Here it is again.
I meant to mute me when I cough.
Air ball in the lane. A layup, an air ball layup. Keep going. Keep going. Getting dunked on by Brook Lopez, who can't jump. Look at this right here. Keep going. Keep rolling the tape. Look at that pass. First of all, he traveled on the pass before he threw the pass. Keep going. Here we go. Oh, my Lord. Keep going. Here we go. Years.
All right, my bad. I'm saying I'm muted. It wasn't about the video when I was muted. It was about he said that I should pay for it, YouTube, and all I was explaining to him is that I'm not signed in. I do pay for YouTube where I don't have ads, but when you use this program, you take a link and you put it in the program, and you're not going to be signed in. So that means that I'll have to type my password and stuff and sign in with you guys watching, And I'm not going to do that. I'm not. So I do pay for YouTube. I just on the program to show it to you all. You're never going to be signed in. And once I exit out of this and I put another link up, I'm going to be signed out again. So it's like forcing you to sign in while people are watching you. So that's why.
Hey, 7 different teams. And I've got an unlimited bank of bloopers for every stop along the way. That was just a short version. I got 15 minutes. I just showed you one. I got 15, and I was just getting started. Kwame Brown made $63.9 million in the NBA.
$63.9 million is 28 more million dollars than Matt Barnes made in the NBA. 28.
$63.9 million. And he feels slight.
And yes, I'm going to break down. He's on the same subject of not playing basketball, so of being great at basketball, and I'm going to break that down. I'm letting Stephen A get his stuff off his chest.
We're taking stuff out of his pocket, $63.9 million to play like that. Averaged 6.6 points per game for his career. As the #1 overall pick, that's the second worst career scoring average for a #1 pick in the last 49 years. 13 years of playing like that. Making money for himself and, of course, his family along the way. And he's angry? 13 years. One time he averaged double digits in points. His 3rd year in the league. In the last 10 years, he did it. He never averaged more than 7 rebounds per game in one season in his entire career.
And this is why I tell you, man, Stephen A. Smith is flawless at executing a plan. This is just the wrong plan. And when you execute the wrong plan, you're putting so much passion into going down. It's like choosing the wrong way on the road. Let's say you're an excellent car driver. You didn't take the easy way. You took the thorn way. You're an excellent driver, but you took the wrong way. You know what I'm saying? So it's looking horrible to me the more he goes down the wrong path. It's like I'm cringing at Steve, and Steve thinks that as he says these stats to show that Kwame wasn't a good player. Newsflash, Steve, I think you put so much stock into what people, two things, don't care about. None of the people care Kwame was a good player, but a lot of people don't think that Kwame was a great player. So you're wasting time on and putting so much stock into something that people aren't. You're missing the entire point of what people are caring about, and I'll explain that.
7 feet 270. But you ranting every day on the internet, out there going after everybody, talking about people's children. When you put yourself and you put your game out there in the best league in the world. He
said that he ranting and raving and going at people. I haven't seen Kwame go at anybody that haven't said anything to him first in a negative way. I haven't. Has anybody seen him go at anybody? But that's what the crazy thing is, that how narratives. I was watching this last night and I was just rubbing my beard. Like, it's crazy how narratives are formed. Because while Kwame is getting really, really big on YouTube, that's a lot of people ain't got YouTube. But a lot of people watch ESPN. So he can sit back and relax and be dapper as he goes on and he paints a picture of an angry guy who's just going at everybody and their family members and all of this stuff. On then, what kids have Kwame win at? He's painting this narrative to people who, if they don't do their research, will believe, coming from Stephen A. Smith, something terrible about this retired NBA player after spending his entire career being picked on by Stephen A. Smith, and Stephen A. Smith making his career off of this guy. Stephen A. Smith messed with this guy when he was a kid, all the way up into retirement. Kwame ain't spoke on nobody that ain't came at him. The truth is less important than how successful that you are at creating a narrative. That's one thing all of us need to take away from this. The truth is less important.
People can comment on it because you're putting your talents on public display. Before I go any further, join me in taking a look at this man.
Oh, I went back. My bad. I was like, dang, and I heard this
a
before.
number one pick in the in one season. Where's the mirror, Kwame? When you gonna look at you?
And this is the false narrative. Why does Kwame need to look in the mirror? Only way Kwame needs to look in the mirror would be if the argument was if he was a great basketball player. If Kwame comes out and says I was the awesome, I've seen, and I haven't even seen all of Kwame's lives, but I've seen on several lives where Kwame said he never disputed the basketball play. It was never about the basketball play. Also, too, to crush his narrative of that, you put yourself out on public display for people can have an opinion. Like, I know so many worse basketball players than Kwame, and they're off chilling, enjoying their quiet life. They went into the league, they made some millions, and they're done. They're done. So he tries to make it seem like that, like you're a bad player, somebody said you suck. This is consistent 20-year bashing of a guy who was 17 years old, all the way until now, just randomly, to be the butt of all jokes on a phrase that Stephen A. Smith coined to be popular. Stephen A. Smith was so successful at bashing this kid throughout his entire career that he made a word popular that Black Americans don't even use. Black Americans don't use the word bust. As I said in the previous video, you can go on every basketball court in the entire country, and when someone sucked at basketball, every different place got their thing that they called them. But I can guarantee you, none of them in the hood, in the projects, none of us, and where we grew up playing basketball, none of us ever looked at the guy and said, "Man, you're a bust." We don't talk like that. We say you sorry, you suck, you ass. We got so many things that we say, and different places got different, but no place I can affirm you ever looked at a kid like, yo, bro, you a bust. That came from Stephen A. Smith, and when you repeatedly say something when you're in a position of power, so you're on ESPN, that would be the biggest position of power to cover the NBA, and you consistently put this out about a person so successfully, you got other NBA players and everybody said, if Kwame beats you in a game of spade, oh, it's all right, you was a bust. Everybody, bust. This is how successful a person was at creating a narrative about a person. So after he retires, he goes the heck off, and he had one too many shots. And now your goal is to paint the narrative as if he's crazy, he's bad, when he's saying to you, two different things he's saying to you. How you can destroy these kids that work so hard, you can destroy them mentally. Doing all of this stuff to him. And the second thing he's saying is the details. He went in, and ain't nobody had a conversation. I think Shannon Sharpe is the only person that may have had the conversation. Shannon Sharpe is the only one I have seen where they talked about Michael Jordan didn't want a 17-year-old player. He didn't want anybody that has to grow and learn. Like Kobe had to grow and learn. Do you want me to play bloopers of Kobe's rookie year? How crazy he was, crazy shots he was taking, air balls. He later became one of the greatest players of all time. He got that time to grow and learn. But you put a 17-year-old with Michael Jordan, who's 38, 39, I think he was 39, 40 when he played for the Wizards. He wanted a ring now. He wanted veterans now. He did not want Kwame. So you go from that kind of mindset, and you see how Michael Jordan talked to him. And then he goes to Kobe, who is now seasoned and talks and acts even worse. Even Phil Jackson said how he treats his teammates was worse than how Michael Jordan would do. But that's subjective. I don't know. I wasn't there. But I'm saying that there's a story to be told behind here that nobody is speaking on. And I think you put yourself in the corner where you can't speak on the story if you built a career off of calling a man a bust. A term that you coined so successful, you get people who never even say the word to use it now. That's a conversation to be had. So when the general public sees these two things, this is what we see, the details nobody's talking about, and also how you hurt and how you can destroy people. When that's the conversation we're dying to be had, when that's what we hear after Kwame roasts somebody, he roasts you, he reels you in, and he talks stuff, he talks logic. When he talks in those terms and you use a platform such as ESPN like this to only show bloopers, man, ain't nobody caring about those bloopers. I'm telling you, don't nobody care. Nobody care about how the sorry stuff you clip together. You can do that for any NBA player because the argument was never, ever that Kwame is great. That you have to have an opposing argument to the subject. If people are saying that Kwame was an excellent basketball player, everything you did is a spot on approach of what I would do. But that ain't what people are saying online. So your defense in this video is you're swinging at the air. No one cares about how awful or how great Kwame Brown was. No one cares. You know.
The basketball player. We ain't talking about you, the man. We ain't talking about you, the father. We ain't talking about you, the son. We're not talking about you, the human being.
Yeah. So he comes back and crushes them on what they covet. That's how you come back at somebody. You find out what they covet and you destroy what they covet. Why would you call me ugly if I don't covet looks? The only reason you talk trash to someone is to hurt their feelings. Why would you call me ugly if I don't care how I look? You got to listen to me and find out what I covet. Now, I may not care how I look, but I don't know. What if I claim I got the greatest microphone in the world? So to hurt my feelings, you say how my mic is trash. Pause, whatever y'all say. It's an excellent time to make a little joke. But you get what I'm saying? So you covet pride. Matt Barnes covet pride. He's a man. He's prideful. So when you sit and you try to belittle somebody on a show when they're trying to keep their name clean, to continue to do these things, to support their community, to support children, the charities, these events, when you try to destroy that person's name and he knows that you covet pride, yes, he's going to come back and say that Derek Fisher slept with your girl. That's going to hurt. That's going to embarrass you to the public. That's what you covet. What does Jack covet? Jack talks about the gangs and all of this stuff he's in. He's swinging on people in the crowd. So if you covet that, I'm going to make you look stupid doing that. I'm going to destroy what you covet. You guys have made a mockery and picked on me for 20 whole years. So now is my time to speak. I'm going to do two things. I'm going to destroy what you covet. And while I destroy what you covet, I'm going to grab the people while they're listening and laughing at you for things that Derrick Jackson did for you, for Steven Jackson, from running out here being a 40-some-year-old man pretending he a thug. After I destroy what you covered and I got the people here, I'm going to give them knowledge. I'm going to show them I didn't go and buy all the flashy cars and do all this stuff. I bought land, what we should be investing our money into, stuff that doesn't appreciate with value. I got the listeners. So when a person got the listeners, they don't care about how bad this man played basketball, Stephen A. Smith. They don't care. This approach was so bad. I felt so bad for Stephen A. Smith watching this last night. I had a wild theory. My theory was Stephen A. Smith felt so bad for how he treated Kwame Brown that he was going to go out here and purposely make himself look bad to leave the floor open for Kwame to destroy him easily. This was a gift Stephen A. Smith gave to Kwame for all of these years talking bad about Kwame. That's how horrible I viewed this video last night. Because I couldn't believe a man as intelligent as Stephen A. Smith would totally miss the point and think that he's destroying somebody by playing old basketball clips when the people out here that's cheering for Kwame doesn't give a damn about how he played basketball. I'll move you one even further. Most of the people, especially if they have other ethnicities or whatever, they probably, since he blew up and the stuff he's saying, and they going to watch his channel, they probably still ain't went to watch none of his clips. They probably never in their life seen a Kwame Brown basketball game because they don't care how bad he played. You totally missed the mark.
We're not talking about you as a person. We're not attacking your character. We just said you can't play.
If you paint a man as this dumb flunky, bust his whole entire life, you are in fact attacking his character. And all he did was come back and attack all of y'all characters, which with some truth. You literally came up off Kwame's name. You literally did not have a job at ESPN. The first time you sat in that chair when ESPN said we need to put some stock into the Stephen A. Smith guy, it wasn't from your resume that you brag about all these years and working with Allen Iverson in Philadelphia. They did it because you was loud on the show. You was loud. You put up a great reel for people to go back and watch as you talked to Jalen Rose, as he was trying to tell you, man, this ain't the way to go, to put so much emphasis and on these colorful words that you're trying to destroy somebody that you were successful at.
well enough compared to your contemporaries in the NBA. You were better than me. I was a scrub. See how easy that is to accept? I couldn't play. You had a more successful basketball career than Stephen A. Smith. Congratulations. And you complaining? Talking about folks, you actually went on social media, Kwame Brown, and said you and Kobe Bryant went for 82 points and y'all won the game. That was the game Kobe dropped 81 points. So you scored 1 point? I got news for you. You didn't even get that right. You scored 4 points in that game. You were off by 3. Couldn't even get that right.
Steven didn't get the sarcasm in that? Like, the more I watch this, he didn't get the sarcasm. If you didn't get the sarcasm in that, if he's saying it's 82 and he scored 1 point, you know what I'm saying? Like, I really am going to run with my theory that Stephen A. Smith feels sorry for what he said all these years about Kwame, and he felt so bad for him that he made this dumb video making himself look stupid to make it easy for Kwame to come back and destroy. I'm just going to run with that theory if he can't understand sarcasm.
And here you are saying, no one noticed what...
Jen, AB, us ladies could care less about his basketball game. He is handsome, masculine, funny, charming, and speaks facts. I'm trying to tell this is a wrong implemented game plan. This was not. All Stephen A. Smith had to do at the beginning of this video is say, you gonna sit on there, Kwame, and say we don't do nothing for black people, and then reel off all the stuff they do for black people. That would have been far more successful. And when he said he was going to come at Kwame, I thought for sure that was going to be an approach that Stephen A. did. I didn't think he was just going to play bloopers of him not being able to play basketball good when we don't care if he played basketball good.
Kind of screens you were setting. Screens? You have any idea how embarrassing that sounds? Look, man, no one ever said anything about you, Kwame Brown, personally. Every single comment has been about your game. Nothing personal. I'm not gonna call you a scrub. I'm gonna roll with my man Jalen Rose and others. Okay, we'll refrain. Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams. No scrub, no bust. We're not gonna say that. What we can say is that, guess what? Compared to other 7-footers who have played in the NBA, you weren't very good.
If he had done that in the first place, I don't think that would have ever been a problem. And if you look at this as a whole circle, this man was not working for ESPN, and he came on calling this kid a bust. You came on calling names, and Jalen Rose told you almost 20 years ago that you shouldn't do professional players like that, right? That was the whole argument. So to end your video and say, I'm going to go with what Jalen Rose said, I'm going to go with this right here, and I'm not going to call you a scrub, I'm not going to call you a bust, I'm going to say you weren't very good. Why did it take 20 years? That's what I'm saying. This video was so horrible for Stephen A. Smith. Last night, I'm like, yo, I'm going to do it in the morning, but this got to be, this is awful. This is horrible. This is bad. Now watch how he walk off with the swag and all confidence.
Is that okay? Now I know you're looking for attention, but what does it say that you're getting more attention in 2 weeks, ranting all over social media, than you've received in your entire 13-year career?
I think it says that he finally understands the system now. All this knowledge and intelligent things he wanted to say to people and they weren't listening, he finally took your approach. What does it say? Like I was just saying before, you had got all of these highlights in career and things that you've done in Philadelphia, but you finally got your job at ESPN by clowning a 17-year-old and being very colorful. It was the caricature as like personality that got you to where you are. And now you're in that position, you still continue to do it. So he decided, I'm going to be colorful. These guys who talked about me for 20 years, I'm going to talk right back about them. But when I do it and when I get the ears of the listeners and I get the eyes of the people, I'm then going to insert the knowledge and things that I've been wanting to talk about to try to help our community be better. What it says to me is that he finally learned the system and what to do to get his message out there. Also, too, outside of Matt Barnes pretending to want to hit Kobe with a basketball. I would say that he's far more successful after the NBA than he was in it. And then the bigger their show becomes with Jack and Matt Barnes, and they go and do many things, we can say both of their careers are massively better after the NBA than it was inside of it.
But you know what you are? I said it then, and I'm going to say it now, because it's true. You're a brother that wasn't that good of a basketball player on the NBA level.
I agree. I don't think Matt Barnes was either. He averaged 8 points, and I think a lot of people are. But the only person, it's sort of like you guys tried to make Kwame the mascot of bad basketball players through his career and even afterwards. And like he ain't even who I think of when I think of like a really sorry person, a really sorry NBA player. But I don't go out here talking about who I think of. It's not important for me to go out here to try to destroy a basketball player like that.
That doesn't make us criminals. We get paid to critique the game of basketball.
You're right. Why is he only coming at some of you all? Why is he only responding to some of you all? He has said multiple times he doesn't care about critiquing his game. If you watch his videos, he's talking about how you did it, how colorful you did it. A lot of people critique this game. I think everybody critique. I don't know nobody who didn't critique his game or talk about how he even played. But why isn't he coming to everybody? Why is it only the select few? You built an entire career off of it.
It was going on long before you arrived. It's going to be going on long after you're gone, long after I'm gone. There's a whole bunch of people, white, black, and otherwise. We ain't just talking about black athletes. We talking about athletes.
Well, I saw Fox, I saw ESPN, I saw everybody have a long segment on Ray Rice in the elevator, right? I don't even know the white guy's name that committed the assault, but it was as if the air in the world when this happened, I think last year or whatever, when it came out, this football player, it was as if people were told not to talk about this. It was so swept under the rug. I don't even remember the dude's name now. Somebody type name in the audience. I mean, I remember a billion times the clip of Ray Rice in the elevator with the assault on this girl. A billion times. I don't even remember this other guy. You are dropping knowledge. Thank you, Tamiko. Appreciate that. So it's not the same.
Period. No matter who they are. What's the difference between you and them? Evidently, they can take it. And you can't.
This the part last night when I saw this video last night when he said evidently they can take it. Chad Wheeler, thank you guys. I don't know no person that has been picked on in the NBA as long as Kwame Brown. And I think it's sad that Stephen A. Smith, this was sad. That part was sad. Like, you actually had the audacity to say that they can take it and he can't. He's taking it more than anyone. He's taking it so much from a word that you got men to say. You got men to say bust. We the black men, we don't go walk around saying the word bust. You got men to say the word bust because you said it so much. He took it way more than anybody else. So to say that he can't take it, I was like, wow, this was crazy. I'm waiting to see that walk off because it was so bad, man.
Can't. I'll say it one more time. You're making more attention for yourself in 2 weeks going off about people personally than you did in your 13-year career. That's on you, bro. Now go and rant and rave all you want. It don't change the video.
You know what I think? I'll be honest with you. I think, you remember I said earlier, like, you destroy somebody by destroying what they covet. You know what I'm saying? If a dude covet he the best dresser, don't talk about his car. Don't talk about him being broke. He doesn't covet money. He covets dressing good. So you destroy how ugly he dresses. That will hurt his feelings, right? I think that Stephen A. Smith is so arrogant that he would want to be the best in his field. So that's what Stephen A. Smith covets, right? So he's trying to make what he covet become what Kwame covet. You can't make somebody covet. I can't make the person who cares about how they dress covet money. I covet money. I can't make him covet what I do. So I can't keep attacking the guy for money and trying to trick the whole world to make the world think that this guy care about money when he really care about how he dressed. The way the swag, the arrogance that Stephen A. Smith has in his video, where he swear he doing something, he swear he dropped the mic, he's pointing back like this, saying, "You don't change your game, brother." Stephen A. Smith, I can't believe you don't see this. I don't think Kwame covets how being the best basketball player. I don't think that's what he covets in life. I don't think he ever coveted it, but now at 39 years old, he definitely doesn't covet it. He doesn't covet it at all. So who are you talking to? If you're talking to Kwame, this is the wrong approach. If you're talking to the fans, if you're talking to the people that's all generated around this right here, none of these people care about how great Kwame played basketball. You gave him the easy alley hoop. You gave him the easiest alley oop in the world to come back and easily get more views off of destroying you. Because I think Stephen A. Smith is a busy guy. He's just really, really busy. So I think he only looking at clips. And if somebody shows Stephen A. Smith clips, they're going to show him Kwame cussing him out, Kwame talking about his hairline. They're not going to show him the clips of the knowledge and the things that Kwame's trying to do to better our community. They're not going to show him that. But it probably would have done good for Stephen A. Smith to watch some of those. Because I think if he watched some of those videos in detail, it would have been apparent to him that Kwame doesn't covet that he was a great basketball player. That's not, like, if I were to attack Kwame, I wouldn't attack Kwame on being a basketball player. I would attack Kwame on some of his views and how some of this stuff wouldn't work out the way he think he does, which is what he's asking for. He's asking you to critique his viewpoints, and none of you guys are doing it. You keep trying to make him care about a subject that he doesn't care about. And that is what ultimately will get you to walk away the way that you're about to walk away now, with false confidence.
Don't change the facts. That lives.
Yeah, someone said Kwame covets his family owning land, being a positive role model for the black community. It's hard to make fun of those things. Yeah, like, he don't covet basketball. It's like, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say to Stephen A. Smith. You know, and Jack did the same mistake. Matt Barnes did the same mistake. You know, like, come on, man. You know, everybody talk trash about you in basketball and all that stuff. You know, don't blame me. Blame Michael Jordan. I'm like, they keep trying to attack a man from a viewpoint that he don't care about.
In infamy. Deal with it, bro. Have a nice life.
Don't go to commercial. Oh. Sorry about that, you guys. I know, man.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube.
I want to see the walk. I want to see the walk without interruption. I've never seen someone take the wrong approach so arrogantly. I got to see the walk, y'all.
Have a nice life. Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports.
Oh, my brother cocked the head back with it. I just tore Kwame's ass up. Man. Oh, the only reason I feel bad for Kwame, only reason I feel bad for him even a little bit is the fact that no matter how big you become on YouTube, Stephen A. Smith has a bigger platform. I feel bad for Kwame, only for people who won't research, only for people who won't go and watch Kwame to see what he's really talking about. I don't feel bad about Stephen A. Smith clowning him on basketball because I don't really care. Like, I'm 41 years old, bro. I don't care about dude getting dunked on and that's trivial stuff. This man went in and made $65 million good for him. And what I care about is the fact that I need human beings and I need people to make better choices in life. You know, if you just as easy as Stephen A. Smith got all these black guys who never use the word bus to start using the word bus, right? Rappers, even NBA players, a lot of people, our black millionaires, they go and buy shiny cars, Bugattis, and all of this expensive stuff that depreciates with value. So when you see somebody waking up early in the morning like Kwame, hands oily, dirty, taking his millions and buying his own tractor trailers and trucks and buying land and doing that stuff. To me, that's somebody I don't want to be clown. I don't want Kwame to be clown because I want people to see that you don't have to go out and waste your money and do all the stereotypical things that Black American men do once they get money. Kwame is a great example of what you can do with your money. Live Life said, and look at those dropping the mic behind him. SMH. It's clear that ESPN is fueling the demise of Mr. Brown. Yeah, like what else do you want? You know what it means to when let me tell y'all what they secretly saying, bro. When Matt Barnes recorded himself, Matt Barnes said when his first rebuttal was saying, "Man, you know everybody been picking on you." And then you look at Stephen A. Smith, who picked on Kwame for his entire career. It's as if all of these guys are saying, bro, I know it's your only one life to live, but can't we just pick on you in peace? Like, why are you fighting back? Why are you saying stuff back? Why can't we not bothering nobody, we just picking on you. Can we just pick on you in peace? That's what I hear. It's like, bro, we've been picking on you for 20 years, picking on you now. Why are you mad? Get over it. We just want to pick on you. Don't say nothing back. Leave us alone. Don't find out what we covet in life and come to try to destroy what we covet. That's all I hear. It's like a group of men just wanted so bad to pick on one person. A group of men just want to pick on one person. It's crazy to me. And if you missed it at the beginning, the reason I said Stephen A. Smith destroyed Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, I'm going to say it again because a lot of people weren't here. I'm going to tell y'all how Stephen A. Smith destroyed Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. And I don't mean this as any disrespect. I'm looking at marketing. There was absolutely nothing special about Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson to have such a successful podcast. Any NBA player can get people to talk to him, other NBA players to talk to him, right? What made Matt Barnes special, what made Steven Jackson special, is like they appear to be one of us. They're not a suit like Stephen A. Smith. They're laid back in the chair. They're smoking weed. It's like watching friends talk to each other. That they appear to be one of us, and they appear to be grown men that'll stand on their own. That's Matt Barnes' reputation. You say something about Matt Barnes, he coming for you. So why would people who appear to be like us, everyday people who like Matt Barnes, who we know will stand up for himself, Stephen Jack, he ran into the stands, right? Why would people like that sit back quietly and afraid to come out and let a suit like Stephen A. Smith do the talking for them? That destroys your reputation and everything that the people even liked about you. Wait a minute. Matt Barnes is sitting back quietly, snickering at home, thinking, oh, my friend Stephen A. Smith is going to get Kwame tonight. That ain't the Matt Barnes I knew. That ain't the Matt Barnes I assumed. Y'all are so afraid of this man talking points that you think that Stephen A. Smith is a great talker, which he is, that you prefer to sit in the background and let Stephen A. Smith defend you. That's a bad look. That is a terrible look. It goes against your reputation. Especially when Stephen A. Smith comes out to attack on the wrong topic. When he threw all his marbles in, he threw all his chips in on the topic that Kwame can't play basketball, and we don't care that Kwame can't play basketball. But y'all sat back snickering and think like this is it. Finally, we're gonna have somebody to come back on our side to destroy Kwame. I never thought I'd see the day. When Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson played, they were like all the other black guys in the NBA. They weren't really liking Stephen A. Smith because Stephen A. Smith talked foul about people. They didn't like it. They weren't rolling with Stephen A. Smith. But look what happened when you get a position. Look what happened when you get with a big company like Showtime. Look what happened when you get into that seat where you can come on and be a guest on ESPN. Look at who you change, who you be around. You want to be around now with the people like Stephen A. Smith. Now you rather sit down and let him talk for you and then put down your former fellow NBA teammate. Why y'all put him down too? Like it ain't nothing. And get mad when he tries to defend himself. That ain't a man to me, man. That's some soft punk shit, man. That's some punk, like it's some soft punk stuff to me. Jack says that now that he hates Stephen A. Smith. I just subscribed to the channel. Thank you. Appreciate that, Holland. All Freemason BS. Sellouts up here. Yeah, soon you're the cool everyday NBA player. Matt Barnes with the tattoos, smoke weed and knock you out if he see you. Steven Jack Smith, everybody like him, cool. He all in the community doing stuff. Helping out with the George Floyd daughter and stuff. Shout out to Steven Jackson for doing that too, by the way. But like to go from that to I think who the three biggest L's last night were the people that Stephen A. Smith took up for that normally speak for themselves. They all got an L, and Stephen A. Smith got a major L last night for totally missing the mark. Stephen A. basically doing the same thing he did years ago. Yeah, he literally did the same thing he did years ago, came full circle. And right at the end of the video, he admitted, I'm just not going to call you a scrub. I'm just not going to call you a bust. I'm just going to say that you weren't very good at a 7-foot-tall player. There's a clip of Jalen Rose when Stephen A. Smith first came on ESPN. That's what Jalen Rose was trying to get Stephen A. Smith to do in the first place. It took you 20 years to do that. Not only did it take you 20 years to do that, but you had to get all your immaturity out in one video before you actually did what Jalen Rose told you to do 20 years ago. That's crazy. They've forgotten where they've come from, no principles whatsoever. Yeah. Stephen A. Especially when Steven Jackson don't even like Stephen A. He said as recently as this year in an interview with Allen Iverson on All the Smoke. Yeah, you're an everyday person. You're like one of us, Stephen Jack. But now you're Stephen A. Smith to take up for you. Nora's son, what's up, Nora's son? Thanks for the support on both of my channels. Do appreciate that. You have not missed any of your breakdowns from Budden till now. Salute. Yeah, I'm still gonna do the Joe Budden breakdown to Charlemagne as well too. And if you missed this, I already broke down in this video here, or you go back and watch it, the Dr. Boyce Watkins and what he did really wrong to Kwame Brown, which is in my subjective opinion came from envy. You don't worry if someone is doing the same topic that you've been doing because more people are paying attention to what they're doing. If the most important thing was the actual topic and someone else does it better than you and get more attention, and you care that topic is being spread to the people, your initial instinct, your reaction would be that of joy, of pleasure. Yes, more people are finally getting the message. That would be your only, it wouldn't be, oh, I've been saying this too. I'm still trying to figure out how QB is a bust when he made $60 million, played 13 years. The average NBA career is only like 5 years. That's a winning career if you ask me. I don't really care if you're a bust or not. I don't use the word bust, so I'm not going to start using the word bust because Stephen A. Smith starts saying that. I say somebody suck. I can't say nobody suck. If I went on the basketball court with Kwame, I'm 6 feet tall. He's 7 feet tall. I think he's gonna block all my shots. Like, dude, we grown out here. We're grown. Like, if I'm 41, I don't know how old Stephen A. Smith is. He got to know, man. Like, everybody don't care about all that stuff. Stephen A. Smith officially ended the Kwame Brown hype last night. I don't think he ended it. As a matter of fact, I'm willing to bet you, Demon Bear. I bet you he didn't end anything. And we can look at numbers to see that. Expose the rigged NBA, deceiving the fans with fake sports. Gematria Effect News 22 exposes all of you sellouts. I don't know what that means. Didn't think he was going to come at them the way he did. It's cool for them to talk that ish about people, but when the tables are turned, it's a problem. Yeah, they just saying, Kwame Brown, let us pick on you in peace forever. We did it throughout your whole career. We want to keep doing it after you retire. Can you please stop whining and stop defending yourself? Can you please just let us continue to pick on you for the rest of the one life that you have to live, even though you're out here trying to do things to better your community, even though that was your focus, even though you weren't talking about anybody, even though you were quiet, even though you weren't bothering anybody on the planet. Can we please, brother, pick on you in peace? Shame make you not care about any Lakers championship that's paid for him like anybody else. Stephen A. made a fool out of himself last night. Yep. Someone said he ended the hype. You clearly haven't even been paying attention. Great perception. I don't ever try to defend Kwame's NBA career. I hear a lot of people doing it, because I don't think that's important. But the only thing I talk about his career is like I just don't think that Matt Barnes' career was any that much better. I mean, Kwame averaged 6.3 points. Matt Barnes averaged 8 points. You know, like they're like neck and neck on everything. Even their career highs, they're not that far apart. And for someone to just so casually be looking down on another man that he doesn't know and never done anything to him. Tamiko Harold Smith. I'm now subscribing and receiving notifications. I don't even watch sports, but real and recognize real. Great discussion. Thank you, Tamiko. This is not a sports channel. I'm just discussing what's big and like, I guess, Black American, public culture, stuff like that. I'll discuss anything. I don't know. Type of one, if you want me to break down the response to Joe Budden and Charlemagne the God, or type of two, if you want me to do it in a whole separate live, because that's a lot of learning points that I got from that conversation as well too. And it also it kind of exposes DJ Academics' his reputation on being able to be objective even when he's cool with people. I think it kind of exposed that he's not objective when he's cool with people. A bus don't last that long, and he was in the NBA for like 10 years and made break a good Matt. So Kwame called Matt Barnes Chico the Bars. I think it's cool when you use humor and comedy and you reel the people in, and when you got everybody watching, you use it to teach knowledge, because that's going to be the most effective way. I like Kwame for that. It's just a matter of time when Stephen A. career will be done. People are fed up. I don't think Stephen A. Smith's career will ever be done because I was just looking at who texted me. Stephen A. Smith ain't going nowhere. When you don't like him, you still watch him. When you like him, you watch him. He drives conversation pieces. He not going nowhere. Like I said, but you got to think about how you want to approach a situation before you approach a situation. Stephen A. Smith did excellent on his video that came out last night. The problem was he did excellent on the wrong route, which ultimately made it a disaster and horrible. That was bad for Stephen A. Smith. So I'm more shocked that he missed the mark on what to discuss when he had the floor open to discuss it. Steven Jackson career wasn't crazy either. Yeah, if I put him in order, Steven Jackson career basketball wise, I don't care who had the best career, but if I were to put him in order, it would be Steven Jackson, Matt Barnes, and then Kwame Brown, and with Matt Barnes and Kwame Brown being really, really close. So I don't know how like those guys could just sit in a chair and laugh at their fellow brother, man, who out here doing good and not bothering nobody. He ain't bothering nobody. Well, he is now. He bothering people who came at him. But I'm saying prior to all of this happening about 3 weeks ago, he wasn't bothering nobody. 3 seasons, 67 million over the course of that time. It's a hard bust life thing. Keep winning, Kwame. Kwame. I keep wanting to say Kwame so bad. I got it. Kwame. Why Kwame don't go after the puppet masters and he supports Candace Owens? See, that's something that I would debate him on. I would debate him on stuff like that because I don't agree with Kwame on stuff like that. Those are the things that you intelligently talk about. You don't go and talk about basketball when he don't care about basketball. But on some of those viewpoints, I don't agree with Kwame's viewpoints. He seems to lean extremely hard right, if I were to make that a category. But that is a great discussion to have, but he is barely touching on him. He hasn't gone all the way in, and I don't want to prejudge him, man. I'm going to sit back and wait for him to go all the way in to reveal his ideologies and what he finds and what he covets in life about these ideologies before I speak and give an opinion on it. But it seems to lean to me that he has some ideologies that I don't agree with, but that's a total separate subject than to what Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson and Stephen A. Smith are talking about over here. There's a difference between criticism and mocking. Exactly. And GL, when you said there's a difference between criticism and mocking, Stephen A. Smith contradicted himself. It really, with the overall theme of the video, the overall theme of the video, Stephen A. Smith tried to paint a picture that we're critiquing you. Kwame is saying that you guys keep mocking me and you're going way overboard. But at the end of Stephen A. Smith video, he said, like, I'll just say that you can't play basketball then. Okay, that's what that's what other NBA players have been asking of you for 20 years. That's all they've been asking of Stephen A. Smith. So I don't know, there's a big contradiction in the video. How many rappers were ritually murdered last year? But they bold, bro. I don't know about no bold, bro. I don't even know how you pronounce the word you're saying, but I see you keep typing that up there, man. What's going on, man? What is this you're trying to troll the chat with? How can he support someone that says all that black people and cops, all that black people that cops killed deserve what they? How can he support? I don't know. Spit more details, Uncle. And I just realized I called you Uncle Ruckus. My bad. That's my bad, Uncle Russ. Spit more details to me, man. Give me more context. Danny Ferry's career numbers are lower. He's gonna get to where you're asking. He's gonna get to where you're asking soon enough. Yeah, that would be great. I like to talk about topics like that. I don't run from that. What's up to my man Tony Yo? That's his mama's cooking coming out. I told my friend, I said, man, Kwame is missing a great opportunity to not make my mama's cooking t-shirts. Boy, if I didn't go on the Teespring and see my mama's cooking t-shirts Kwame got out there, I was like, what? Get that money, Kwame. And he donating the money. They giving Kwame super chats and he giving it to good causes and good things. It's like, why y'all messing with the guy? Max said, the problem is Kwame doesn't have to be submissive. He didn't get any fraternity branded on him to succeed. Shaking my head. His tax bracket makes him right, not left. I got you, Matt. And appreciate the donation, man. Really, really do, man. Kwame is the clapback goat, which scares the talking heads, and his authentic pro-blackness, not commercial, scares the industry that profits on black stereotypes. Let me ask you guys something, because I don't know. I'm confused. Type of 1. If you just think that Stephen A. Smith them don't get it. Type of 2, if you think they clearly get it and what he's saying about how black men being used, put down black men, they just don't care because they making money. Do you think this is ignorance or do you think this is greed? Or type of 3, if you think it's something else. I don't want to put out a fallacy, a black and white fallacy. That got to be one or. 2, if you think they clearly get it, what he's saying and doing, is just, they got to fill their pockets. Or 1, they just don't get it and think this is about basketball. I see a lot of 2s. Okay. Because it frustrates me because I'm like, am I stupid? Because I clearly get what Kwame's saying. My bad. I clearly get what Kwame is saying. It's so easily that I'm like, how can they not get this? So, okay, they get this. They just like, we got one life to live, bro. And the way I'm doing the game, I done climbed over the other crabs in the barrel. And now I'm filling my pockets up, and I'm just going to stay doing it. You're not going to bring me down with this kumbaya stuff trying to help everybody else out. I like my life. I like my cars, my millions I'm able to make. I like my status. I like my followers on social media. I like to be able to fly chicks around the country and sleep, you know what I'm saying? Put my thing down and fly them back home. Okay. All right. New Jordan is acting brown people are being lied to. It's sad. Stephen A. Smith is making millions doing this type of stuff. Yeah, they don't know how to reply. They know they hire for a specific reason. 2 and 3 basically have to. So Stretch Global is saying you have to get that money, and they are controlled like they have to. I feel you, Stretch Global. Stephen A. Smith do what Massa permits him to do. This is nothing new, and it's acceptable. You know what's scary about that? Honey Brown Sugar just said Stephen A. Smith do what Massa permits him to do. This is nothing new, and it's acceptable. I'm finna scare the shit out of y'all right now. What did Stephen A. Smith say at the end of the video? He put his head down and he said, it's happened before me. It's going to happen long after me. Was he basically saying what Brown Sugar was just said in her comment? Assuming Honey Brown Sugar's a girl, you know what I'm saying? Maybe Honey Sugar's a boy. But it is Steven subliminally telling us right to our face You know what I'm saying? Massa been presenting black men to do this, and it's gonna be happening long after he gone. Nothing new and it's acceptable. The worst thing to a black man is a black man. Barnes made $35 million in his entire career. Yeah, that's what I said. Logical. Kwame made $64 million. Kwame played 13 full seasons and moved his mom and an entire family out the hood. Can we not agree that it's not a bust career? We all get it. The problem is Kwame is doing the same thing he condemned them for doing, tearing down black people. Uncle Russ, when do you defend yourself? When is the appropriate time? It's kind of hard for me, Uncle Russ, to fault a man for going off after 20 years. There was no medium. There was nice, I'm not saying nothing, and then fuck it. That showed me somebody had enough, bro. Somebody had enough. I could see if it was just like normal. And then it's not really the same thing if one person is defending themselves. Like, there's a reason he's speaking to this specific person, because this specific person said these negative things about them. To me, that's a clear, different reason than I'm gonna wake up and come at somebody today. You know, do you really believe something will happen to Brown? No, because he's not this. That's what Dr. Boyce did wrong. He put negative stuff out there to the world that bad people can do. I'm not going to put no negative stuff out there that bad people can go do. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather sit back quiet and hope somebody close to Kwame tell him and give him the advice of how this stuff works on YouTube. Or if I really care, I would reach out to Kwame via email privately. But you can't go public with all these people watching you and then say something that somebody can run with and harm Kwame. So I wouldn't even answer that question. Kwame's YouTube explosion was insane. Yeah, stats are badly better than Brown. Matt Barnes started all of this. Yeah, he did. And Stephen A. Smith went on last night and said Matt Barnes didn't do anything. Michael Jordan had his own father. I'm not going to read that, Thomas. I'm sorry, bro. I can't read. I'm not. I don't know all those details. That may be a good case to look into. I may do that for my true crime case. What happened to Michael Jordan's father? Matter of fact, I'm going to research that, Thomas, to look into it and see, do I need to make a documentary off of that? The Genie Bus video set him off, and it was really disrespectful from them to not mention his name. The thing is, since they talk about him for so long, that can't be that surprised that he responded. Yeah, Kwame record high, Kobe record high 81-point game was his. Thomas is on some Illuminati stuff for real, bro. If y'all like Thomas De La Rosa, do you have a YouTube channel? Like, do you make videos about stuff like that, conspiracy theories? Matt Barnes is an easy target. It's okay to tear down tools of white supremacists, even if those tools happen to be fellow black men. Sass Stephen A. Smith got on by going at black athletes. He stepped out of line with a white chick and got slapped and has stayed in his original lane since. Ouch. What is he talking about? What happened? I don't know that. Blue Diablo, what happened? When you enter the public, either in sports or media or public office, you will get clapped back from people and media. If you don't want to be called out, don't get into the public eye. So Rasta life, when you say if you don't want to be called out, don't get into the public eye. What if you want to be in the public eye and you don't mind people calling you out and saying negative things about you, but you're going to respond? And because they're in the public eye too. Does responding means, is that bad? Does that mean that, you should not be in the public eye? What's wrong with responding? Why can't, you're a public figure, you should take this. Okay, what if they took it? They just want to respond back. Don't they have the right to respond just like the person has the right to say it about them? None of those people want that actual fade with Kwame. No, they don't. This man got a Glock painted like the American flag. That's weird. Kwame is definitely doing the right thing because no one else defended his name for him, and the manner by which he has gone about it is just intelligent. Yeah. You can't fault Kwame. I mean, it worked. He went from I think I saw him 4,000 subscribers to blow all the way back up, and he take that right there and he start the topic. And now I don't know if y'all see it. His earlier videos was way more roasted than a little knowledge. His later videos is a topic that'll pull you in. Like when he talked about the Breakfast Club, when you went to watch that live, he said a little bit about the Breakfast Club, but the majority of that video was actually trying to teach you something. So you can see the segue that Kwame is doing. He's moving this over to the talking points that he originally wanted to discuss anyway. Not for nothing, just because someone signs to the NBA doesn't mean they're giving people an all access pass to their personal life. Gotcha, M. Pimentel. Sass has this Romo Cutler, the Knicks owner, Tebow, and many of the white head coaches of the NFL. Shout out to Amoni, if I'm pronouncing your name right. Stretch Global. We always reference Master, but forget that they are the Illuminati, go by many names. Know thy enemy, Kwame knows. He got Judge Joe Brown on now drop. He got Judge Brown on now dropping gems. Wow. KB is entitled to respond, but he just wasn't a great player. I agree with both of those statements, Simone. Stephen A. Smith doesn't just pick on black players. And I guess you're going to keep typing. Kwame and the Jaguar Wright should team up together and expose the sports industry. He's online right now with Judge Joe Brown. Kwame is having live conversations with Judge Joe Brown. Media is paying attention. He's going to come out and speak out against homosexuality, being lumped with black social issues. He country strong and wise. Sorry, dude. Kwame is soft. Rasta life. Hey, man, everybody can have an opinion. I'm not his lawyer. You know what I'm saying? I'll speak up on what I feel. Or I just speak on my opinion on the parts that I think is right and what I think is wrong. But if you think Kwame is soft, hey, no problem with that, my boy. I saw that him and Judge Joe, it's difficult to get punched in the chest and not respond by punching back. He waited 20 years before he punched back, too. Guarantee Kwame doesn't rock with Black Lives Matter. What do you mean when you say Black Lives Matter, Kevin? What do you mean when you say those initials? I think that's a more interesting topic. The bust I see is Stephen A. Stephen A is not a bust. Both of these guys are multi-millionaires, man. I just don't. It's sort of like rap. I guess that's my biggest problem. That Stephen A. Smith acts like a guy, he don't like the hip hop rap culture, but like that's what he does for a living. He does the rap culture for a living. Think about it. You don't see country singers tearing each other up like that. You don't see country singers getting into fights and dissing each other in songs. You see that in rap, right? You don't see that in rock. Well, Stephen A. Smith doing the same thing, man. Like he tearing down people. Like this is weird. This is weird. It's weird. How can journalists critique players for so long without offending them? Westbrook got hot about him a few weeks ago about him not being a winner, but he doesn't always bash Russ. Yep, there are two different Black Lives Matter. Yeah, MJ should get some of Mama's cooking. That would have been crazy if Kwame would have came at MJ. And here's another problem I see in the black community, right? I respect Michael Jordan. Like, I look up to Michael Jordan as his God-like figure. I'm speaking not really God-like, only on basketball. That's it. If we talking basketball, I'm like Liz, like, wow, Michael Jordan's great. That's just basketball. When it comes to Michael Jordan being a man, he's just a regular goddamn man to me. He ain't nobody special. He's just a damn man, and at times an asshole of a man. I would talk to Michael Jordan the same way I would talk to you. I would not cower around. I would not, oh my God, I'm in the presence of Michael Jordan. I only look at him up like that when he was on the court during his 20s and 30s. Not even teens. He went a great college player right now, and you know what I'm saying? He's older now. Only in his 20s and 30s on the basketball court do I look up to Michael Jordan. Anything else? He's just a dude. He ain't nobody special. We do that a lot as black Americans. We just idolize people just for being a regular person. I remember the little black, young black man who, I think he was nominated for an Academy Award for the movie Moon or Moonlight, something like that, came out a couple years ago. There's a clip online when he saw Denzel Washington, this young kid, he was in the early 20s. He on the red carpet for the first time, being nominated for the Academy Award, and he's on the red carpet, and he bumps into Denzel Washington, and you can see how starstruck he was. He was like he saw a ghost. He could not believe he was shaking Denzel Washington's hand, and then he said, "I'm gonna play in the movie with you." I understand that because that's their career field. He's like a basketball player looking at Michael Jordan in basketball. But I hope he don't worship the ground Denzel Washington walk on like that as a regular man in real life. He's just a dude. He's just a guy. Ain't nothing special about Denzel. He's just great at his job. He's great at acting. We got to stop idolizing people like they all that. And the reason I went on that rant and the reason that I brought that up is because, like, Michael Jordan ain't playing basketball no more. He's not in his 20s and 30s playing. He's not bad. So if Kwame felt that Michael Jordan did all this dirty stuff to him, he should have went off on Michael Jordan the same way he went off on everybody else. He should have told it. He should have had no fear, no none of that, because Michael Jordan is just a man. Yeah, black people have a messiah complex for regular humans. Yeah, Kobe wasn't God. Yeah. MJ is a high level Luciferian. But y'all be going in hard on these these conspiracy theories, man. You speaking facts, bro. Appreciate that 100 Trail. Uncle Russ, he hasn't went to MJ because he already said MJ didn't want him. He was trade bait for Elton Brand. This is where I got a problem with Stephen A. Smith, right? If you are a journalist, if you are like report on sports and you're looking for big stories in sports, the lesser story is to continue after 20 years calling the same guy a bust. That's a lesser story. The bigger story is the juicy details of Michael Jordan trying to get Elton Brand. Why isn't people talking about that? It is your job to look for the juicy story and to deliver the juicy story news in the NBA. Here's one right in your hands. And in my subjective opinion, the reason no one has picked on the Elton Brand trade and what Michael Jordan really wanted to do is because if you pick up that story and you run with it, you have to admit that you were wrong to run out here and call this man a bust and pick on him for 20 years. You have to admit a mistake in order to run with that narrative. That's my subjective opinion of why. Because who the hell throws away a story? Who skips over that? That's good stuff to put out here for the public. That's something good. That's a good debate for Stephen A. Smith to do with Matt. And shout out to what's his name? Shout out to my boy Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Shannon Sharp for actually talking about that and having that detailed debate, and no one else is having that detailed debate. That's the problem I got with Stephen A. Smith on the subject. It is a conspiracy, no theory, though. Bro, I salute Nicholas from Verizon at Tucker. What's up, Nick? My man, Nick, man. How y'all doing out there? Tell everybody I said what's up, Nick. I miss Tucker, man. I'm all the way out here on the West Coast, Nick, man. I miss Georgia, period, Nick. Kwame, the 17, 18-year-old kid speaking against MJ. How the heck would believe him? Like how black people put angel wings and a halo on George Floyd's Muriel. Cali Love, if I come and do another video on that topic, I would like for you to come and put that same thing right there and let's discuss that. I don't see a problem with someone putting angel wings on George Floyd's Muriel. I don't think that is a correct analogy to make when you say that people big up celebrities instead of just their only career field, but as being an everyday person. I don't think that is a correct analogy. I will read your comment though if you disagree and have something to say how that is a great analogy. Sorry, was addressing the comment above. Dan, why would you lose respect for a man who left his money to his family that he loved and created? I'm baffled because she was white. Come on, man. Kwame is picking the soft targets. Barnes, Charlemagne, SAS. No disrespect, but Kwame knows who he can get at. Hey, people need to stop talking ish about George Floyd. I don't care if he I'm not reading none of that stuff. I on my true crime channel have I think 2 videos on George Floyd. So if you want my opinion, you go to John Crimes and you can find my opinion on the George Floyd thing right there. Whatever happened to being a man first? Rules are rules no matter where you are. No more hiding behind a job to say what you say. If a man would slap you for saying it in his face, then don't say it. I'm down with that, real coach, no politics. Is Stephen A. Smith's job to talk basketball? Is no cap a part of your name, or are you saying no cap is Stephen A. Smith's job to talk? I'm just curious. We got to be consistent in how we say this freedom of speech thing. It's his job to talk basketball. All right, cool. He can talk basketball. Are you saying no one can say anything back? Are you saying because people don't work for ESPN, they can't have an opinion and they can't express themselves on platforms such as YouTube that gives us a right to express themselves back? What do you mean when you say it's his job that he's going to say that? MJ signed Kwame twice. That says a lot. Kwame couldn't play, period. Where's the lie? Why get mad about the facts? One Royal Q. When you say Kwame couldn't play, period, where's the lie? Why get mad about the facts? I will only hope that you just walked in the room, because I don't think that you say something like that if you've been in here and heard the argument, because that don't make you look good right now, bro. It's his job to talk about basketball, not the character of a person. That's the line. Thank you, Kevin Michael. Controversy sells, views, and donations increase when there's drama. Clear speed, you're correct. Clear speed, will we ever get out of this? Will we ever get out of the drama and everything putting people on? And MJ said it to his face. How do you expect black people to not idolize athletes when they are the only black people that media consistently put on display? Hey man, Josh Hunter, we got our own media here. That's what I really love about YouTube. I'm gonna tell y'all, I look at YouTube 99% way more than I look at regular television. You can make your own platform. You can talk about whatever you want to. I don't even watch the NBA right now, to be honest with you. I ain't seen one playoff game. I can say the last full NBA game I watched, I can't even tell you. Now I am into mixed martial arts, but I look up all kind of stuff. I look up black scientists. I use YouTube. I go to sleep off documentaries and stuff. That's the kind of things that I'm into. What I'm saying, Roy, we have a playing field that we can have our own. I don't think you should have idols anyway, but we can have our own different kind of people that we look up to. We don't have to follow the news that they keep putting only black athletes up there and say that we're going to go after them. We can create now, which is what Kwame is trying to talk about. We can create our own lane now. We can create what's popular now. We can create what's cool now. We don't have to rely upon a network. I'm staring at a text right now from a television company on a deal. Why do they want to do a deal with me? I'm a YouTuber. Because the networks are watching YouTube. They're watching. You make your own lane now. I don't listen to the radio either. I don't listen to the radio. I'm gonna tell you how detailed I am. I don't even have a playlist, because a playlist will play something random. I want to listen to what I want to listen to. So I got my own specific things I want to. I go click play on it and listen to when I want to listen to music. I don't even have a random playlist to play anything. I don't listen to no radio. I watch YouTube majority of the time, or I go to some other streaming services and watch a series or something. Stephen A. Smith went on CNN to discuss LeBron's vaccination status. He is not a true journalist, a TV personality. As you stated, he left the big story. Yep, Sabrina Solomon, he left the big story. That's crazy to me. When Kwame started talking about the Elton brand trade and what Michael Jordan real thing was, I did like this. I was like, wow. I was getting into it because this was a juicy story that been hidden. And I wonder can you guys imagine how many juicy stories we don't know about that happen in the NBA that would be great for these journalists to do their research and talk about and get into? They don't do it. You know what I'm saying? Or they don't do it enough, or they err on the side of the drama aspect. it's funny that Kwame's doing the exact opposite. He'll roast Matt Brown, and he'll pull you in with the drama to talk about serious good issues that we need to be discussing. Meanwhile, they'll avoid better topics and better issues to only discuss the drama. I agree with you 100%, but a lot of the older TV personalities are joining YouTube and putting out the same stuff. An example being Shannon Sharp's YouTube channel. I don't. Is it bad? I haven't watched Shannon Sharp's YouTube channel. I know he got his show. I didn't start watching Shannon Sharp's because it came during COVID, and it was just like a Zoom call. I didn't, and that wasn't really his fault. That's just the climate we lived in. But I'm just saying why I didn't. I stopped watching anything that looked like a Zoom call for a while. It's just, I don't know. It felt disconnected. It didn't appeal to me as if when you sit down and have a guest there, have someone in the same room. It didn't feel right when it's like that Zoom with the 2-window thing, Kwame busting into the talk media industry like 50, Stephen A. I honestly think the next step, Kwame, like it would be nice to see him use a bigger platform to talk on and reel more people back into his YouTube channel. But I'm pausing as I talk because I'm like, I don't know who the world would he trust. Who would he trust? The reason he never spoke, he said, is because people was taking him out of context and cutting. Like, who would you trust to I know a bunch of people reaching out to him, but who in the hell would you trust to do that? What's up, Roberto Williams? His teammates have come out and said everything Kwame is saying is true. They used to make him work out 2.5 hours before the game so he couldn't perform. That's it. Real coach, no politics. Let me tell you, this is what made me mad when I hear a statement like that. Why would Stephen A. Smith, why would Shannon Sharp, why would none of these people on these platforms not want to talk about this? Is that not a story? When I was raised, the journalist goes and look for the story. Okay, here's a clip and you played extremely sorry. But now we got a story behind it. They made a young kid work out almost 3 hours right before a game. Legs feeling like cement. Even if you don't believe it, it's a good enough story to put on your platform to discuss. Why don't people talk about it? Why do people avoid stuff like that? He's giving you gems of different topics that you can talk about. Even if you don't like Kwame. I'm quite sure this happened to other players too, where you can discuss these things, but they don't want to do the journalism. They don't want to do it. I don't get that. Fake journalist, yeah, like facts real. Yeah, I'm like, why don't you want to do it? He's literally giving you stories, and it is your job to find stories and discuss different stories. But you'd rather stand up there with your hands in your pocket and show us the same clips of him missing the same shots we all seen. Shannon Sharp is not a journalist. However, he said that last week. Go check the video, and he defended Kwame. Yeah, I saw. I'm not getting on. I'm not bashing everybody into a group. And then earlier, Sabrina Solomon, I mentioned how I said shout out to Shannon Sharp because he actually did discuss the Elton Brand deal. He was the only one that went into detail on it. He's the only one that covered the story that I've seen. I haven't seen anybody else cover that story. So all I'm saying is there's a lot of stories out here that people can be doing, people can be talking about. What's up, Punch Mom in the building? I enjoy your mindset, bro. I just subbed to your channel. Thank you, BJ SAL, BJ Sal. I appreciate that, man. Like I said, this took off after the BF Club talked about his family, Uncle Russ, because most of them are ignorant. This brother is legit, and we don't have to support. And we don't have to support Kwame. Nobody has to support anybody. I love my man Devin the Dude, the rapper Devin the Dude. Devin the Dude says, do what the fuck you wanna do. Do what you want to do, man. I use YouTube as a platform to state my opinion, and then I follow that up to let you know why I feel the way that I feel. Some people agree, some people don't agree, and I like discussing it whether you agree with me or not. It's all the same to me. The media wants to talk about the points that serve their agenda. Us YouTubers will take the stories. Yeah, YouTubers will take the stories. I haven't taken the story about the details of that deal because I don't watch the NBA. I don't know about all that kind of stuff. But if I did, if that was my feel, I was like, man, I'm going to sit up here and listen to Kwame because Kwame giving some jewels about the inside NBA stuff too. Have you watched John's documentary regarding Charlemagne's victim? It's on his other channel, Powerful. If you do watch mine, make sure you go watch Choke No Joke. I don't like to receive the abundance of credit as if I went out to did it, when Choke No Joke is the one who put the gas in his car and went all the way out there to speak to Jessica Nicole Reed and her mother. So give that man his flowers, because he did the legwork. All I did was take what his parts of his interview, parts of what Charlemagne did, and put them all together where you can find it in one video. So make sure you guys go give Choke No Joke his flowers. And also, there's way more information coming from Jessica on Choke No Joke's video that I didn't put in my video. So make sure y'all go check out Choke No Joke. Do you think Kwame should accept Charlemagne's apology? Why do you think? I have a video saying why he should not accept his apology. On his channel, you can go watch. And that's the title of the video, Sage for Life. Why do you think Kwame has beef with Angela Rye? I don't know who Angela Rye is, so I can't speak on that. And seems to be down with. Why do I think he seems to be down with Candace Owens? If I were to make an educated guess, it appears that Kwame has some extreme right political views. And Candace is extreme right, Candace Owens. So if he likes her, I don't know, I'm taking your word for it, I haven't researched that, then I would assume that that would be the reason why. If you want to know my political viewpoint, I said this in another video, I'll say it right now. Is John real left? Is John real right? I feel like we all fall into a systematic trap when we try to say that we're Republican or Democrat, and I think it teaches people not to listen to the words that you say. It teaches people not to be detailed. If you, I've seen people look at somebody and go, "Yeah, I think you're a liberal, aren't you? Yeah, you're a liberal." And then when you do something like that, you just told yourself, I don't have to listen to your viewpoints, because if you're liberal, then you believe all of these things, and this is how I'm going to argue with you, like I argue with you with everybody else. I'm going to put you to these generic topics instead of listening to the words that come out of your mouth. If I had it my way, there would be no classes. You know, there would be no, you're Republican, so I got to vote Republican. You're Democrat, I got to vote Democrat. We'll get rid of all of that stuff, and we'll look at these politicians for their specific legislature and the things that are coming out of their mouth to choose if this is the person that I want to run or follow. And the same thing with ideology. And we love to classify stuff so much. We give things that should not be classified a classification. If you have no affiliation, they call you independent. They put you as they classify you as independent. I'm not independent. I'm me. I'm motherfucking John. What are you talking about? I'm John, and I'm not independent. Oh, if you eat a regular apple that you picked off the ground that hasn't been sprayed with any bugs or insecticide and all that stuff, it's just a regular fucking apple. Oh, you're eating organic fruit. What do you mean it's organic? It's just an apple. Why you got to classify? You see, I don't like the classifications of everything. And when you get rid of all the classifications, you're willing to listen to somebody. If someone feels that Kwame starts to lean all the way extreme right and they call themselves a liberal, they would be less likely to want to listen to the words that come out of Kwame's mouth. Vice versa. Same way too. If you think somebody leans to be all the way left and you are a Republican, you'd be less likely to listen to them, when we should all be listening to the details and the merits of someone, what they're saying, their viewpoints. Brunch Mom said, "This is why I love you." Exactly. Love you too, Brunch Mom. Do this put you in mind of Tupac? Angela Rye is a Democratic political pundit who used to be on CNN. She's really tight with Charlemagne and Van Jones. Gotcha. Is that I think, is she light skinned? I think it's some woman I saw on there talking about views. The days of Ahmad Rashad and Stuart Scott are no more. Yeah, sad. You're right. They were true media journalists and didn't have to talk down on anyone to build their brand. Kwame is a self-thinker. I doubt he has allegiance to either party or political package. He's probably embracing Candace Owens as a slap in the face to the black stereotypes. So I want to speak on that, Edward Brian. It's a good thing to talk about. One of the mistakes I felt that Kanye West made goes on to when you said the slap in the face. If you tell Black Americans you all are stupid because you've always went Democrat, you need to be free thinkers. Nothing wrong with that. But if you do that and you only love all Republican, all right-wing things to spite, to be different, because you feel that they're being controlled to vote all Democrat, then you're being controlled too. You're doing the exact same thing that they are doing, which would mean that you are also not a free thinker. And a lot of people fall into that trap. They start off good. You guys are being controlled. Y'all keep doing the same thing. Open your mind, expand your mind. Everything. All of that is good. But when you do the exact opposite just out of spite. So let's say on this one small Democratic legislature, just this one piece, you actually like it. But you have a problem and you can't say that you like that legislature because it is on a Democratic thing, and you purposely go against that because you started this off with a free thinking general idea. You're no longer free. You're a slave as well too. And a lot of us make that mistake. Open-minded means being open-minded. It means being open to listen to everything and take all the critical information that you get to make an informed decision on every single time. Every single time. Being a free thinker means seeing the tricks of both parties, seeing everything. K Denver, explain to me how 50, 60 years of voting in one party solves any Black communities. For you to ask me to explain that would mean that you are making the assumption that I feel that that's true, and I'm not going to explain something like that. And also, that's a generic statement too. I like to get more detailed, because if you put out a general statement, it just holds you to so many ideas that in ways that you go that you may not believe in. I agree 100%. I agree 100%. It's an overcorrection. A ditch is still a ditch on either side. Exactly, Edward Bryan. Exactly, my man. Dan the man. Facts real. Black conservatives tell us to get off the Democratic plantation while they stand in the middle of the Republican plantation. How about no plantation? How about no Democrat, no Republican, no conservative, no nothing? How about you are not a Republican, you are not a Democrat? How about you are just your name? You are Dan. That's Edward. That's Jen. That's Mr. Logical Mind. We all different people, and we can discuss our own different topics. You know what I'm saying? We can listen to each other, hear each other out. I don't want to know if you're a Democrat. I don't want to know if you're a conservative. I don't want to know if you're a Republican. I don't want to know none of that. I want to know you. I want to know your ideas. The way you can herd, you get all the sheep together and you get one dog to move them all in uniform. That's what I think topics are. Instead of me listening to Dan, and then I got to go listen to Brunch Mom, then I got to go listen to Blue Diablo, then I got to go listen to Jen, how about I just say all of them are just conservatives? And then now that they all are that, I can just move conservatives by saying the things conservatives like. I just group them together and move them. That's how I see it. Yeah, no plantation, just people looking for the best in all. Ice Cube was talked down on because he was trying to get something accomplished for his people and said, I don't trust either side, but I'm trying for my people anyway. And Derek, I got to remember the details on that. I think I don't like speaking when I don't know stuff. I think generally he went to Trump. Trump said, I'll meet. He went to Joe Biden. Joe Biden said, we got to get all this stuff out the way. Oh, I remember my opinion on it. This is my opinion on when that happened. Trump told Ice Cube, let's meet now. Joe Biden told Ice Cube, let's wait till after the election part, because it was like within 30 days of the election. I think at that time my opinion was, y'all finna get mad as hell at me. My opinion was Joe Biden looked bad because he was telling the truth. Donald Trump said, yeah, let's meet. Then nothing happened. Then you know why nothing happened? Because Donald Trump was focused on running for president. It was October, and there was going to, you vote at the beginning of November. So none of them was going to see everything through with Ice Cube. All of them was going to make Ice Cube wait until after the election. But Joe Biden looked bad because he told him the truth. That's what I got out of it then, Both of them was going to do the same thing. That's what I got out of it. I don't know. Tell me if I'm wrong. Think for yourself when you start saying you this and that, you are already a follower. Exactly, Clinton Groom. Why do people put so much of their beliefs into politicians who are only in it for themselves? I'll never understand. Yep. Yo, nah, I ain't gonna do that. Somebody in my chat right now who has a famous son, rapper, Southern rapper, right now, and they just chilling in my chat. Somebody's son, right now. I know they smiling and laughing. I'm calling them out. Ice Cube was played by Trump and his behind-the-scenes greed for his Big Three business. He sold out. Trump just wanted the pre-election optics. Let's stop separation and put people in boxes. Let's all change our language. We all need to stop with the us and them mentality. Gotcha, P. I got you, M. Pimentel. Cube shouldn't be running to Massa in the first place. The Democratic Party has become the Communist Party. They thrive off of power. That's how you feel, B. Simmons? I thought he came up with a plan with Trump called the Platinum Plan. I hate that name. Oh, I hate that name. But I can't speak on it, Atlanta. I don't know all the details. Did that come to fruition? Donald Trump was in office for 3 more months. Is that stamped and is that approved? The Platinum Plan, is that something that's in effect right now? Why they had to name it the Platinum Plan? Come on, bruh. Man, niggas ain't changing. The laughter. We have become way too divisive. Yeah, in our community, we find a lot of little ways to write something off. And you make your you make the crowd smaller, you know. Ice Cube got used as a tool and didn't realize it. They put his image in photos and ads and had no intention of dealing with him. Honestly, the Platinum died the minute Cube left the meeting. See, that's what I'm saying. None of them was going to take him seriously, and their number one focus was the election. But Trump said yes. I think if you look at it as a business move, Trump just did a better business move than Joe Biden. It publicly made Joe Biden look worse to put Cube off to the side and tell the truth, when both of them really put him off to the side. So it was just a smarter plan that Donald Trump did. It was a smarter plan that Donald Trump did for image. But if you look at the overall, if Joe Biden put Cube off to the side and still focused more on the race and he won the race, you know, politics, man, it's all tricky stuff. Politics is all tricky. We all is one mental illness and this white supremacist matrix. We are not ourselves. So identity theft got us all lost as one raw energy versus white subconscious views and actions. Elaborate on that, Javi Ja. I'm not understanding, and it could just be me. Elaborate for me and I'll read it. You know why you hate that name? Because it was basically the gold tooth and spinning wheel plan. When I get the time, I'm going to go look at every single part of the Platinum Plan. I feel like I can't speak on it because I don't know. But yeah, you may be right. You hate that because basically it was the gold tooth and spinning wheel plan. Yeah. Can't trust these politicians. Ice Cube, you should be smarter than to name that the Platinum Plan, bro. Come on, Cube. Slug Hugs told me to shut up. You know, the only problem I have with you coming in the chat to tell me to shut up is that I'm open to talk. I'd rather somebody say, shut up, and then tell me what you don't like. And then we can, I guess you're right. That would defeat the purpose, because if you tell me what you don't like, I have to talk about it, which is the opposite of me shutting up. I got your Slug Hugs. Slug Hug says Obama hate blacks. Gotcha. Don the Con had to go. Biden, you ain't black if you don't vote for him. If we're going to participate in politics, Cube was talking about how we should go about it. Stay in the middle and make both sides offer things for their vote. Now, Ice Cube is 100% right on that. Shout out to Cube. Damn, now I feel like a dick. Nah, it's all good, Slug Hugs. Ice Cube was right about that. But this is what's so tricky about politics. It's really tricky, man, because politics is tricky because it's some medium stuff. Medium is hard. If I told you to run the fastest you can, that's easy. You're going to run the fastest you absolutely can. If I tell you to run the slowest you can, that's easy. You're going to move your body the slowest you possibly can. If I tell you right now, I want you to go outside and run medium, you got to do some calculations. You got to figure this thing out to run medium. So that's how I look at politics. Ice Cube has a great message. He has the same message I have. Forget all this Democrat, Republican stuff. Look at everybody and hold them accountable. But because to run medium, you got to package it right to get the people to listen to you. The optics is that a lot of black Americans don't like Trump. So with you being open-minded, the message is getting skewed because you're working with somebody that already black Americans don't really like. And then you doing like stereotypical names like the platinum package and all of that. Like you have to, this goes back to Stephen A. Smith. This goes all the way back to Stephen A. Smith's video last night. It's not about how it's the plan first. Stephen A. Smith's plan was just to show that Kwame was a horrible basketball player. That was the wrong plan. He executed that well. Every viewpoint to stack up how Kwame was not a player. He did a great video doing that, but the whole video was horrible because the audience don't care about how good Kwame played basketball. You see what I'm saying? So Ice Cube got a great message, but the optics of the rollout matter. It matters as much as your opinion does. The optics of the rollout matters. Wisest word I heard was we need to operate like the Chinese me and Indians by laying low, stay on the money, help a brother and sister when you can, and when you reach the top, teach others to be that. Fuck all that government ish. We as black got to reset everything we know as a lie and then face white subconscious actions. White supremacy are the unseen presence working on our subconscious thoughts. I got you a little bit more clear, Javi Ja. And when we talk about the optics, take your passion and how you feel on that topic and make it more palatable for people to easily get. That will help you on what you want to achieve, Javi Ja. Don't think like you if you're real intelligent. Think like the common, everyday person. How would they want to hear the message that you're trying to say, Javi Ja? Kwame needs to stop oversaturating YouTube so that people can take time to listen, chew, and digest Mama's cooking. He also needs to upgrade equipment so he can build a platform and compete. All right, now I don't even know if I want to answer that, like go into that. I would say this. I agree with you. I just don't want to put shit out negative like that. Those are the topics and stuff. Edward Brian, I would like to talk to him in private about instead of like, I don't want to poke out those things in public, but I agree with you. You know what I'm saying? Like spacing out of, you know what I'm saying? And how it could make your YouTube have more longevity. But who knows? Edward Brian, you and me, we going on what we know and we see here. If somebody thinking outside the box, what if I find out I'm wrong? I told one of my friends, Edward Brian, they wanted to do a new true crime series because it take a long time to put out documentaries so they can have videos. There's like, I'm just going to do like quick cases every day. I said, you're stupid if you do that. You're going to oversaturate everything. I was wrong. That little quick thing gets more views than their well put together documentaries, and they pumping them out every single like 3 and 4 times a week. That was the biggest thing to blow up their YouTube channel. I was completely wrong because I was going off of old school while they was thinking outside the box. So we can sit back and watch. We could be right about that. We can sit back and watch, and maybe we gonna learn something new that we didn't know of. You know. I don't mind people who think differently as long as they're respectful. He's in the process of doing that and has only been at it more seriously for a couple of weeks. Yeah, he is new. It's only a couple of weeks. Yeah, I think I've been on YouTube for 10 years with multiple channels. I know what to do and all this stuff. But he, you know what I'm saying, you got to figure this stuff out. And plus, I don't know who he talking to. He may not be talking to nobody in the YouTube world to help him out. He obviously talking to somebody because he got the super chats on and running now. Because I remember over a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was listening to Kwame Brown, and I was like, yo, he should be monetized by now. And then boom. So somebody helping him out. Somebody showing him what to do. Van Thomas City is the worst in the USA, the starting point of a chance, and that they made a movie. They threw movie in our face. Exactly. K Denver. What did K Denver say? I don't mind people. Oh, yeah. I think Denver, as long as they're respectful. Kwame's had a channel for a while, I think. So he talks about a lot of different topics. Gotcha. The two-party system does not encourage independent thinkers. It encourages group thinking. Exactly. Carl O'Reilly. Can someone answer me this question? Because I never knew this. If there are more than two people running for president, why are the debates that come on a month before you vote only the Democrat candidate versus the Republican candidate? This isn't a trick question like me trying to test your brain. I literally don't know the answer to this, so I want the knowledge. Does anybody know? Like, you can have 4 people running for presidency. Why don't we get to hear all 4 of them have that final debate against each other? Why is it only the Democrat and the Republican that comes on like ABC News or whatever? Y'all need to stop babying Kwame. Every good player practices hours before the game. Not only that, but even practice early that morning. I don't know either way, Dwayne Thomas. I don't watch the NBA. I can tell you why I have fear that could make you tired is because what I do is box and mixed martial arts. When I see the guys backstage before the boxing matches, I even worry, like, why is he swinging? You ever watch the guy? The news go in the back room of boxing and he doing this right here for so long. I'm like, bro, you just like blowing a lot of energy. You need to do it a little bit. You don't want to go out there, as George Foreman would say, dry body, but like some people overdo it and they get tired. Or Deontay Wilder complaining that he had that suit on before. Like, there is a way that you can peak out for the day. They want us to be against each other, and it's right in our face stage. Most stations have their own criteria for who gets invited to the debates. Is Blue Diablo right? Because that's a problem for our country. Blue Diablo said most stations have their own criteria for who gets invited to the debates. You're just setting it up to force us to stay in the system of Democrat versus a Republican. Then, like, why won't a network let everybody debate? John, I think that is because of preliminary voting that slims the candidates down to 2 people. But nah, Mr. Juice, they're not slimmed down to 2 people because when you go in that voting booth, you see other names. You see the libertarian name. You see the independent name. They are there. They've been there the whole time. Why can't the libertarian? Why can't the independent? Why can't they get on the final debate on ABC? And I'm sorry if I'm saying the wrong station, CBS, I forget, whatever station the debate comes on. Why can't they get on there? There are rules, and it's based on the Congress structure. To qualify, candidates must get a certain percentage of the votes support, not only to get on the debate stage, but also get on the ballot of all 50 states. That's jacked up, bro. It's all done to get the focus off the local government. American people still think the president is about us. Local government is what decides your way of living. Found that out in Atlanta with Keisha. The mayor. His teammates stated they ran him into the ground before the game to the point where they were concerned. All right, I forgot the person who said that earlier. I think it was Derek or something like that. Dwayne said that. Stop babying him. So Dwayne Thomas, I have a regular question for you. When you say that we're babying Kwame, every good player practice hours before the game, and his teammates said that they ran him so hard that they were concerned for him. What do you think about that? Cube's plan wasn't the platinum plan. His was the plan for Black America. Trump's plan was the platinum plan. So Dwayne, those are 2 separate ones. Propaganda and optics, if Dwayne is correct. Gary Johnson was at debates in 2016, but made himself look foolish, just like Ross Perot years back. I vaguely remember Ross Perot. I think Ross Perot got the most publicity than any person running for president that isn't a Democrat or Republican. He got a lot of publicity, but I think he was super rich, so he bought most of it. And he was easy to make fun of, so that gave him more publicity and stuff too. I remember his ears and the jokes people made about his ears. Dems and Republicans are the superpowers. I don't think we will ever see an independent president. Do you think you think we'll see a woman president? We saw a black president. All of that is fair game, but there will never ever be an independent president. You don't think so? You don't think in our lifetime right now there will ever be an independent president or a libertarian president? Like you said, whatever side you pick, you're still going to be controlled. The answer is money. Perot was rich as hell. Yep. And that's why he was the most popular one. Nah, this is the final time for president. Yeah, Dana Carvey mastered Ross Perot. Yeah, he did. I remember that. Elon Musk will be president. What teammates? It's funny because they praised Kobe for doing the same thing. Dwayne, and again, I don't watch the NBA like a lot of y'all do, so I'm asking Dwayne Thomas. I was under the impression that Kobe would go to the gym at like 4 or 5 in the morning. He start his day early, and then he get his practices in, and then he would go back to be with his family, and then he would come back to the stadium for the regular shoot arounds and practice. Am I wrong? I thought that's what Kobe did. I thought Kobe was there at 4 in the morning to train. I didn't know that he trained like right before the game hard. Facts. That's next first gay president. Kobe worked out under his control, not the team's control. Yeah, there's a difference between you doing stuff at your own pace and then you being pushed. Kobe was self-motivated. You are correct. I'm saying, so it's a world of difference between working out at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I thought Kobe said, I could have sworn Kobe said in the interview, he goes to the gym and get about a couple hours in, hour or two in like 4 in the morning. And then you go on your body resting and you having a normal day. That's a whole big difference than a 3-hour training leading up to the game. Stephen A is a snitch. Still got a pair. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm the next time I go live when I get it, and it may be old news because stuff don't stay relevant that long. Stuff is irrelevant after 2 or 3 days. I'm about to go have fun for the weekend. So what I would like to do is Monday, I want to break down Joe Budden's rebuttal of Charlemagne. The reason I want to break that down is because of how many arguments we have in our real life, be it with our significant other or we have an argument with our friend, and it's all about perception. I really wanted to deep dive into this Joe Budden versus Charlemagne because they both feel that they are right from perception, and I'm not going to play the in-between game. I'm going to tell you who was wrong. There is a person who was way wrong in the situation when it comes to Joe Budden versus Charlemagne. I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Where I'm like, they're not even. One person is the catalyst that started all of this, and I'm gonna show you how they flip it. Because I guarantee you're gonna be like, I had a friend. They tried to flip the same thing with me in the argument. I knew I went crazy with this gaslighting. I'm gonna show you how they flip it. But again, this happened Wednesday, and it's already Friday, so it's already 2 days old. So we know in hip hop, 2 days is like 2 weeks. So it may be real stale by Monday. It's just that I want to go enjoy my life. I want to go and enjoy the weekend and have fun. So I'm gonna see y'all Monday morning. And unless something crazy, weird, big pop off, you never know with Kwame, and you never know when all these people going back and forth. I'm definitely going to talk about the Joe Budden and Charlemagne back and forth. And but until then, y'all hold it down. About to go make me some coffee early in the morning and listen to Judge Joe Brown in my headphones. Talk to Kwame. You guys hold it down, man. And thank you guys for sticking around here with me. Y'all enjoy y'all weekend, man.